D, wait for it, light bulb.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I'm coming to you with this a little bit late. Long story short, the past couple of days has been a little bit hectic for me. I was going to record this yesterday, aka Friday, but my kid got sick, so I had to take care of him. It's not the coof. He just started throwing up, and he's fine now. He bounced back. But anyways, so I watched this latest episode of Doom Patrol, and I don't dislike this episode. It's just I don't know how much more of this show, like how much further it can go with this season as far as this goes, because I don't know where they're going, because they had what was it? It's not the great flagellation, it's I don't remember, the unexpected flagellation or something, I can't remember, which I'm going to be honest with you, it turned out to be a big dud in my opinion. But I don't know, it's like the weirdness of the show is like I like it, but sometimes I feel like it goes a little too much, to the point where you're just like, huh? In saying that, I love Rita. I can't tell you how much I love Rita. She's my favorite character for sure. And then somebody in the comments of the last video, because I said that I think Cyborg should go to Titans because he's like the odd man out. And they made a good point. I can't remember exactly everything they said, but they made a good point about how that's, what makes him, so great on the show. All right. I'm going to stop yapping now and break down this episode real quick because it's late. I'm tired. Everybody else in my house is sleeping and I'm ready to go to sleep too. Okay. So it starts off with these masks and they're just sitting on a pole in front of the mansion. And it's everybody's face or whatnot. And then I think that's that face. Is that, hold on. Yeah, maybe that's, I don't know. It doesn't even matter. So then we go to these memories. They each one are in not memory. Yeah, some of them are in memories. Anyways, so he goes to when he was younger and he's at a toy store. And his dad tells him to go pick out a toy or whatnot. And he's going through these toys. Now, I just want to say, him just grabbing the toy and then throwing on the floor, who does that? Like, come on. Like, I would have been, if I was the store manager, I would have been mad too. I mean, he doesn't have to, he was a little harsh though, so he's throwing him on the ground, and the manager sees him and he comes over and he's all like, hey, I'm gonna have to call security. And Victor's dad comes over and he's like, is there something going on? And he's like, your son is damaging property. And I just want to be like, all right, slow your roll, guy. Okay. You just say, sir, can you, well, first off, he grabbed his arm and I was like, as a father, I'd been like, you're about to catch these hands, buddy. Okay. But he's like, he tells him, I'll pay for the damages or whatnot. And he's like, and he's just like, just go, whatever. And he says, I want a black superhero. And he's like, we don't have black superheroes. And he's like, why not? He's like, because nobody buys them. Now, I don't know what time this takes place in, but I know I had some black superheroes growing up, some action figures. Off the top of my head, I know I had Storm from the X-Men, and they were like they're not like action figures now, like they had like 9 points of articulation and everything. But I know I had Storm and Bishop from the Marvel universe. Off the top of my head, I had Bishop, and then JB Bridge, is that his name? I can't remember. I know I had some more, but there were black superhero action figures that they had. And I like playing with them. Yeah, the JB Bridge action figure was on, and so was the Storm action figure. I love that action figure. Anyways, okay. So then he's trying to remember that or whatnot. And he's talking to his son. He's like, "Hey, you got to be careful. Something like that could get you killed." I think he says. I don't remember exactly, but he gives him this soldier, and he's like, "Here, be General Tom or Tony or whatever it is, and everything." And so he sets it down. Yeah, General Tony. He sets it down, and the mask comes, and they whisks General Tony away and leaves him there. And then back in Jane's psychosis, I have to admit, this puppet thing was my favorite part. I laughed so hard. So she's like having a fun time, and Jane comes in, she's like, what the F and everything. And they're just like sitting there, and she's like, oh, Jane, you made it. And she's like, what the hell is going on? And Hammerhead comes over and she's like, listen, she's like, if she wants us to be puppets, just go along with it. And so they sit down, and then we go over to Robotman, and he's all like, and he meets his other stuff, and he's like, what the? He's like, what the? And he's like, who the hell are you? And he's like, who the F are you? It's so good. I love it. It made me laugh a lot, both the puppet part and this interaction here. So he's all like, so they go in there, and then we go over to the church where Larry is going in, and it's his wedding day, and he sees himself or whatnot. And the mask comes and takes his self away, and then he's stuck there by himself. So then these guys are here, and this kid is talking about how there's a fog all over the world, and I'm like, man, the Sisterhood of Dada is traumatizing children. So they're sitting there, and Rita comes in, and she's like, this is the great flagellation from the Sisterhood of Dada, and it's going to bring the world to their knees, and they're replacing you. You're like their subconscious, and they're placing them with their subconscious and everything. So they have to face, parts of themselves. But I like how she's like, it's going to bring them to their knees, and they look at her like, what? And she's like, plus it's art. So, stick it up your butthole and everything. And so that's why I was like, when I was like, oh, this is the great flagellation, I was like, I was expecting something cooler, but it's fine. It's like, whatever. So she's like, you guys have to face, like Larry, you have to face a fear, and then you have to face some guilt or whatever, all this stuff. And then she goes back to this memory of Madame Rouge. And she's sitting here talking to the brain, and what's the ape's name? Should have wrote down. I really like this. I wish they wouldn't have gotten rid of them and had them more in the show, because the Brotherhood of Evil can be really cool if you let him be, but it's fine. It's like, whatever, it's fine. So then he's sitting here talking to her, and he's like, let me get this straight. I have to go back to 2021. I have to go and I have to steal Niles Calder's, inventions, and then bring them back here so you can take over the world. He's like, yes. And then he's all like, are you, married to your name? What was her name? Devereaux or some crap like that. It doesn't matter. But he's like, and then he's like, I've got to devour you. And he's like, Madame Rouge. And he's like, that's so good and everything. And she's like, Madame Rouge. And she's like, I just want to screw over Niles Calder. So then Larry is back at his memory, and his mom comes in, and she's interacting with Larry that's not there. And basically she's just telling him, like, what you're doing is an abomination, the whole being gay thing. Not true. It's really mean, actually. But she's like, you need to be a God-fearing person and just marry this woman. It'll make her happy, yada, yada, yada. You'll change your ways or some crap like that. And I'm all like, I get it was a different time, but, you don't have to be mean to your kid. And so yeah. And he's like, Mom, I'm gay and everything, which I want to talk about all this stuff after, when we get to the point of it. So then this, what is her name? Her personalities. You guys always tell me, and don't DM me and tell me, just leave a comment. Okay. You DM me something funner besides all the names of our personalities, and comment that stuff. Don't DM me. Mary, Shy Mary. It doesn't matter. So they're sitting there, and oh no, I didn't get it. All right. They kill / beat up the little lamb. And this part made me laugh so much. Like, they're like pulling it apart, because he's all like, I know her. She tells me things that she doesn't tell you guys. And they're like, I'm not going to listen to a stupid lamb. And they beat him up. And like this one, she's like licking his, like, I supposed to be like, they like start laughing because they killed him. That was pretty good. I laughed so hard with this part. The puppet part was my favorite part. So then he sees this memory, and he's all like, I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to be a good kid. I'm going to show everybody how good I can be. I'm going to be a good little soldier. And he's all like, just be a kid. You're just a kid. Be a kid and everything. And so then they're back over here. I can't remember what they're talking about here. Oh, she's like, listen, you guys have to come with me, or you can sit here and face your fears or whatever. Because they're like, oh, don't you just want revenge? She's like, yes. And so they all come with her. And then we get this memory, and Madame Rouge comes back in here. No. Oh, I hate this computer sometimes. So she comes back in here, and she's sitting here talking to her. hold on. I have to go back. All right. I guess I gotta just tell you what happens here because my computer, for some odd reason, every now and then it deletes photos. And I'm all like, what's going on here? So she's talking to Madame Rouge and she's all like, you ruined everything. You made these people, you took all these people and you turned them into weapons and you liked the power and you're evil. And she's all like, and she's like, we were your friends and you used us and then you threw us away. And she's all like, yeah, she's like, but I would never admit it outside these walls and everything. And Rita uses her thing to try to choke her, but then she turns into Milton and Rita lets her go and everything. And yada, yada, yada. So she then goes and steals the time machine instead of Madame Rouge. And she's forgetting all these memories and gaining all her other memories back. So then back at this thing, this tent, they built a fort and everything, and they're inside it. And he's all like, they're like, you want to go back to your memory? And he's like, yeah, I'm dying of Parkinson's, so I don't have much time. So then back at his memory, he's getting this lap dance from this stripper. And she's like, hey, she's like, I don't want to say nothing, but there's a little girl outside left in a car. And she's talking about his daughter. He left his daughter in a car and everything. I was like, oh, such a bad dad, such a bad dad. And he's like, all right, I'm out of here. And then he jumps through this little portal that, what was the Asian lady's name? What was her character's name? Shoot. I remembered it from last time. I just don't remember it now. Anyways, so then he hops in with Larry and he's like, hey, we need to get out of here kind of thing. And he's like, how do we do that? And he's like, through this little portal. So they go through the portal. And then these guys are sitting here talking. And I think this is where he tells them that he's dying. Yeah. We can just skip all this because it's really not that great. Yeah, he's just like, I'm dying. So they bust in here to try to find Vic. And he's like, hey, I'm over here. And they're like, you're an action figure and everything. And then he's all like, hey, give him this. And he leaves them. Oh, they leave him a rock. Oh, this computer makes me so mad sometimes. It doesn't matter. This is only going to get like 4 views. So they jump through the portal. They head over to Puppet World. They bust the wall. And they're like, which one's Jane? And she's like, I'm going to kick your ass or something like that. And he's like, that one's Jane and everything. And so he goes a picture up. He's like, you're like a baby. Hello, baby. And she's like, oh, fuck you. And then they go through this little thing. I really like this. It's fun. It's kind of fun. Reminds me a little bit of my childhood. Anyways, and they end back up in the thing and they pop in here. And they sit down with their others and they go over like their stuff. And this is the part that didn't bother me, but it's kind of like, so at this point in the show altogether, all 3 episodes or all 3 seasons, and they're just regressing, not progressing. And that's what I don't like. Like Larry's still, not gotten over the fact that, yeah, he lived his life not true to himself. Like he was a gay man, but he like tried to hide it. And it's like, how many seasons until you get over this and just start living, your best gay life? Like what's going on here? Like you're still like every season it's like, I was gay and I couldn't live my life as a gay man. It's like, yeah, we know, we saw, all 3 seasons. It's like, come on. I'm sorry. It happened, different time, you live your best life now. So he's doing that thing, and then he, goes back or whatnot, and they're like, oh, that was some good shit and everything. So then he sits here and he talks about how, and the same thing with him, how he was a bad dad. And I'm all like, and he's like, and how his kid kind of ruined his life. How when he was changing diapers, he wasn't anything special and he didn't get a high off of it. But when he was racing cars or having sex with women, being the king and everything, he was, living that high. And that's what he wanted every time when when he's banging the nanny or whatnot, not changing diapers and taking care of his child. So he's a bad father. And I'm all like, yeah, we heard about this season 1 and season 2. We got it. You're a bad dad. We got it. Everything. And then these two, there we go. And these two have a little combo. And he's all like, I can't remember everything, but he's all like, you lost your childhood. He's like, I lost my childhood. And he's like, you can still be, a good person. I don't remember exactly what they said. And then these two are talking and she's like, I can't remember what they said either. Sorry. It's been like a while since I seen the episode. But the thing is, she's all like, sometimes I wish you would just die. And the mask comes and takes her away and she turns back into, a person. And then she tears down the tent because she's really mad. And then they all poof back to where they were before the great flagellation. And so he pops back into the garage where, if you remember, he stole her credit card and was gambling and talking to his webcam girl. And his daughter comes in. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. But his daughter's all like, this isn't working. It's not going to work. And he's like, yeah, I know. She goes back into the underground and Kay comes up and she's like, I hear you. You know, there was some things said and I hear you, but we can work it out. We're all here for you, kind of thing. And she's like, they're all gone. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, because the puppet before, they're all like, oh, she's gonna try to ruin it and everything. And the psychiatrist personality was all like, we aren't gonna let her. So maybe they left. I'm not sure what's going on there. And then Larry goes back to the woods to get his space worm baby, and I'm all like, Larry, burn that thing. It's not gonna be good. Whatever happens with that worm thing, I bet you it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. Maybe that's where they go for the rest of the season. And then Victor, he got the surgery where he's got the skin. He's looking buff. He's looking pumped and everything. He looks good. I'm jelly. I think it was a bad choice, though. He'll go back to his robotics by the end of the season. I mean, you can't have Cyborg and he's not a cyborg. Come on. So then Rita is walking through the forest, you know, like Robin Hood and Little John. She hears a branch snap and she turns around and there's Madame Rouge. And they just look at each other. Oh, I didn't get the last one to read. This computer still makes me mad sometimes. And that's where it ends. And I think, hold on, we're going to go back to that episode. I think, like I said, I didn't think this was a bad episode. It was just a lot of talky, which is fine. But sometimes you're just like, man, can I get a little bit more action in here? Because I really I really want to see, I want to see a giant roach and a giant rat fight kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I do think that this was a decent episode. I also would like it if they could just the Sisterhood of Dada. So if they just wanted this art project, are they done now? Are we not going to see the fog anymore? And then the guy with the wind wheels and everything. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. Like, what's going on? So, but I am, I do want to see what happens for the rest of the season. I love Rita. I love that Rita's come, like, I feel like Rita's come into her own this season. Like, maybe we won't, have to deal, like, maybe like she'll know how to use her powers from now on and she won't be all like, oh, I'm so insecure. I don't know how to use my powers and everything. And I'm all like, yeah, learn your powers because I want to see you do it and everything. I just love Rita. She's great. She's my favorite. All right, that is my breakdown and review of this episode. I promise next week it'll be on time. I just got a little bit behind. I had to work one day. I had to work a double, and then my kid got sick and everything, and I have to take care of him. My kids are number one, so I have to take care of them and everything, and I got to earn a living and all that stuff. I know you're like, I don't care, but I promise next week it'll be on time. Okay. So I will see you guys next week. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my Doom Patrol breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.